Reporting live here from the Monkey Sports store outside Montreal. Just going to kind of freestyle this, so if you've got any questions, if there's anything you want to see wandering the store here, throw them in the comments section. Here's one of the more unique things, blank foam core sticks, whited out. Just like it says, it's a CCM 1060 mystery model. Basically got your price curve on it. Whole bunch of Warriors, lower end CR3s looking pretty cool. And the all yellow color. I'm all set, thanks. Store employees doing a great job, seeing if I need any help. Hopefully we'll get through without too much. All right, any questions? Anything anybody wants to see here? This is, I think, Warriors probably original foam composite, or one of the later, or I should say one of the earlier versions that didn't take off the way the CR1 and the V1 Plus has. Pretty heavy as well. Definitely Warriors made a huge jump up in their composite stick. Can you show the 2S gloves? Yeah, I can definitely do a glove comparison. So by my terminology, the 2X, the Vapor glove, will kind of have more of a fingers oriented closure, versus the Supreme will have more of a mid-palm finger to thumb closure. And let's see if we can track some down. So this is Supreme. This is the top of the line, the 2S Pro. So when I'm going to close this, I'm moving my thumb and my fingers towards each other, and the closure's down the middle. And I think probably the biggest difference anybody will notice trying these on, besides the break, is the game ready level. I've got a 2X Pro, and it is significantly better than the 2S here. Looks to all be Supreme. All right, and here's 2S, or 2X, excuse me. So here, top of the line, 2X Pro. So you can see instantly how much better, how much more out of the box game ready closure this one is. Seal at the T. I know a lot of people get very bent out of shape about that. That is ironclad. So when I'm closing this one, I'm moving my fingers just down here towards my palm, and I'm not engaging my thumb as much, is kind of how I describe that break for people that don't fully understand it. One of the other subtle differences, so single T, 2S has double T. We've got the break angle of the glove. We've got the break in readiness. And then the 2X will have the perfectly straight wrist cuff, versus the Supreme series will have the traditional kind of, you'll have the bend. See it better from this angle, but you'll kind of have the rollover feature on the cuff of this glove, and as well there's the double T. All right, what other questions do we have? Pads for the little guys. Hopefully nobody fits into gear this small actually has a smartphone and follows me yet. Hopefully they're out having fun playing outside. Just type your questions in, guys, and we'll take a look through things as much as we can. All right, here's all CCM, and somebody just asked about E-Flex versus Premier stiffness. So out of the box, so again, we're gonna focus all on top of the line. So here's P2, stock configuration with the single outer brake. And this should have a flexible boot. So the upper, even though it's got the brake pretty similar, stiff, the boot flexes, and not to forget, the boot angle will be different as well. P2 has a higher boot. The EF4 is a much flatter boot that'll sit on your skate. So here we are, EF4. This as well, single outer brake. Boot softer in this. And then if we go up top, you're gonna get a little bit more kind of bend. You can see roundedness in the thigh rise there that I wasn't quite getting with P2. I will say though, if you play with the customizer, P2 has more flex options. And I found that once my pads broke in, I wouldn't say they got too soft by any means, but they did get much more flexible than out of the box. So definitely recommend P2. I don't think they are too stiff for the average goalie. So definitely come and check these out. Could you compare pad height optics versus G4? I can try that. That just might be a little bit harder actually knowing which size each pad is, but we'll take a look. Solid colored pad screw, love that Warrior. So, all right, so here's a G4, 36, 1.5. See what this optic is. 34 plus 1.5. All right, let's see if we can find some smaller Warriors. Thirty-two, 35, 33. Man, I can find any size but the matching. 33. This is always the challenge of going live as well. You never quite know how quickly you're going to find what you're looking for. Let me check this one optic up here. That's 33. So let me see if I can find a Warrior 33. All right, perfect. So here is G4 Pro with the air slide in it. No binding on the toe. If you've ever wondered what that means, it's just all material. Versus when we look at optic, or even these retro pads as well, heritage work as well, but that's the binding. Versus this technology here when we go no binding. For whoever just asked about sticks, that's kind of tough just because really the difference is going to be material and weight. You're not going to notice too much over a video comparing sticks. But so first thing you'll notice, even though this has a bit of a pre-curve, the Warrior is a much more straight up pad versus the Brian still has a bit of the S curve in it. And this is the lower end optic, but I believe the fit's the same. And as you can see, the Warrior sits probably an inch and a half taller. But that's just basically, I think, because of the straight profile. You can see thigh rise bends a bit, so I imagine if you keep these upside down and get a bend in them so that the shape for shape they're the same, they'll be pretty well sized accordingly. I will take a look and see if they have the ProV Elite glove in stock already. I'm not sure if they'll have those, but we'll definitely take a look. Just saw a question about those. And I believe that is a Monkey exclusive. Speaking of Monkey exclusives, got some great colors on the CCM pants. Hometown Habs there, LA Kings. Fortunately, no red Bauer 2X Pro pants, which are definitely on my list of things to check out and try next, but I'm going to hold out for a red set. All right, so far haven't located Vaughn ProV Elite gloves, but we'll keep looking. In case you haven't figured it out, this place is loaded to the gills. Older Monkey exclusive Coho line has been discontinued, but still some kicking around. Colorway would probably work for me if I wanted to go white, just white with the gold trim, pretty clean look. It still has the Coho tag on it as well. All right, Vaughn gloves. So for anybody that asks, here's the ProV Elite, the one-piece cuff model, split. It's kind of got the single tee at the bottom, but the split tee at the top. Break-in ready, I'm actually impressed. Generally speaking, I found Vaughn probably to have the least break-in ready gloves on the market. Most of them will be like that Supreme I showed earlier. And this close is fantastic, so kudos to Vaughn for really stepping up their game with the break-in ready level. But the one-piece cuff, and this will flex more like the Vapor, where I'm using my fingers to do most of the closure with this glove. Now let's see if we can find a ProV Elite. Lots of Bryans here, but unfortunately it doesn't look like they've got any ProV Elite masks, or gloves in stock, so kind of tough to compare those. Let's take a look, maybe at some chesties here, see what we got. We got the Shield 2 and the Premier. These are both units I've used. Shield is my favorite for fit and size and shape. Only downfall of that unit is the arms. Sometimes you can get some stingers. Premier 2 you look absolutely huge in, and it's a tank. I have the Goalie crease Spec 1, which is even more beefed up. Only downside of this model, does take a lot of kind of breaking in, and you definitely feel the chest protector more when you wear it, but that's all upside in the sense that you're gonna look bigger and definitely not have any padding gaps. Got the original Optic chest pad. We showed on the account a bit some of the Optic 2 chesties. Converting a guy like Henrik Lundqvist is always a big deal. He's been in a Vaughn chesty forever. 73 white with my favorite question to date. Do they have the unicorn known as the Vaughn composite stick? I will bet anybody a smoked meat sandwich. The answer is no, but let's take a look over. 2X Pro chest protector. This has been my gamer lately. I have the one with the red floaters. You can see this comes in the blue color. For me, this is basically the perfect chest protector. I've gotten 0 stingers from it. It's light as hell. Very flexible out of the box. The shape is great. It is smaller, so if you want the older style, non-NHL conforming, this isn't going to be a unit, but if you're good with the smaller chesty, you'll love this. And the craziest thing with this, like I was mentioning with Premier, you notice the chest protector, you can feel all the robust padding. This honestly feels like you're playing street hockey in a sweatshirt. It's crazy. You absolutely don't notice the pad or all the protection, and yet you don't feel pucks and get stingers. So in my opinion, this is one of the best products to come on the market this year. All right, let's hunt for that Vaughn stick. Do they have 2X goalie sticks? I would imagine they do. We'll take a look while we're over here. Yep, here is 2X Pro. Only P31s in stock. Mine is a P30. This is a great stick. In my opinion, is your first composite stick because it's a little bit softer and more forgiving than the Supreme line. Or if there are any legacy users who really like the 1S or the NXG but don't really like the Ergo Spine, this will be a great stick for you. In my opinion, to summarize a review I haven't done yet, it's basically got the feel of an NXG where it's a little bit softer when the puck hits it, and also a little bit softer for playing the puck, like more flex. But it has the weight of a 1S and it's actually lighter, so that's a pretty sick stick. And then here we have the 2S Pro navy color. And this is the Ergo Spine as well. So that's one of the unique features. And this is the gold standard for lightweight sticks on the market. I've not used a Warrior Chesty for whoever just asked that. And Leo for chest, I always get extra large in my chest protectors. I'm about 6'2", have a long torso and always tuck, so if they're a tad long, I don't really notice it once they're tucked. So the 2S Pro, you can definitely notice, is a bit lighter in hand, but you know, the 2X is probably one of the next lightest sticks on the market, so great stick here. And then here is the regular 2S, which as well is pretty light, but it does not have the Textreme or the Integra fibers. I'm not sure. We just have this labeled as full carbon construction, but compared to the 2X, definitely feels a bit heavier in my hand. But I do know this is supposed to be a pretty durable stick from the feedback I've got as well. So if you're willing to sacrifice a little bit of lightweight for a little extended durability, it's a good one to check out. And then here we are with some of the CCMs. And then, wrong side, wrong hand. So eFlex 4 has been, it's tough. There's really good sticks this year. I'll say I found myself using this one the most just because it was probably the best balance between performance and weight. And I also love the Price Pro Stock curve with the square toe, which we don't have in the store, but as well. So, man, that's tough picking my favorite stick this year. I've been rotating between the EF4, the V1 Pro Plus, and the 2X Pro, and I find myself probably using the 2X and the Extreme Flex 4 the most, and those are both really good sticks. I think I like the F4 a touch more just because it's got a little bit more of a traditional feel versus the Bauer sticks, a lot more engineered, where it's got the flat front and the rounded back. Hopefully that's coming through in the video, but if we looked above, it's kind of almost triangular shaped, versus the CCM is going to be convex on both sides, where it's going to be a bit rounded. As you can see, you can kind of see the logo with the paint on both sides, so it's tough. So the Bauer, I think, wins a little bit more in balance because they're able to use the paddle shape and engineering to change the weight distribution a little bit more, but the EF4 is going to have a little bit more of a traditional feel. But honestly, you can't go wrong with either of those sticks. I think the one advantage that the CCM may have is price, being that it comes in about $50 cheaper in Canadian prices, so maybe tie goes to cost, but both of those are killer sticks. V1 Plus is really good because it's so lightweight. It's the second lightest weight stick on the market behind the 2X Pro. That stick is just very stiff, and me personally, I'm not an ace playing the puck, so a little bit more flexibility in my stick is something that I value. But if you're looking for a stiffer stick, definitely check out V1 Pro. Got some Pro stocks, so Kari Lehtinen, Dallas Extreme Green, local guy Michael McNiven, foam core CCMs. Check out his curve. Pretty basic mid curve, square toe, and man, it's crazy. I haven't played with foam core in so long. I forget how heavy they are. So this would be basically the Price retail curve with the rounded toe, and this is made for Murray based on the color. Can't instantly think of what goalie that is, but this is teal, so probably somebody in the Sharks organization. And then we've got some OG Premier composites. Great deal, $150. You've got a Luongo, Crawford, and Talbot to pick from. And then we've got a Mike Smith as well. They're kind of a crazy paddle shape. I think Lundqvist does something similar with kind of the steep front edge, and then the regular square back, and that's got a square toe, and mostly in the heel with this curve. All right, guys, anybody got one or two last questions? Unfortunately, I am pretty much out of my free time, but whenever I get a free half hour in Montreal, always stop by this Monkey Sports store. It's incredible. I mean, I really don't think I've ever seen more goalie equipment in one place. The pricing I was just mentioning is Canadian, but the EF4 is about $50 less than the 2X Pro, if price matters. But I mean, you can see True as well represented here. Got all of the sticks, 6.0 as well. I haven't personally used this. Super lightweight. This actually feels great in the hand, but haven't used these. I haven't personally used the optic knee pads. They're optic pants, so I can't really comment on how those are. I'll see if they have any in stock. Best knee guards, that's definitely a matter of preference. I've used 1X and the S18 and the 1S. Like all of them seem to steer towards the 1S a little bit, and I wear the McDavid knee pads underneath the hexagon football style ones just to give me a little bit extra cushioning for my knees. The Brian's ones, their basic pro knee pad is good. I've used that as well. It's a little bit softer if you want a more minimalist knee pad. Don't see any Brian's pants over here for whoever asked. And trying to think what else. I've used the Warrior. That seems like a really good design. Unfortunately, I like a pretty streamlined unit, and the new V1 Pro Plus was just a tad too bulky for me. So didn't really post much on those, but did use those for 2 or 3 skates. Padded Vaughn shirt. This thing is probably the most insanely padded undergarment you've ever seen. And we have 3 arm segment pads, 3 in the chest there. So that is extremely padded. Here's the older CCM model. Padding feels a little bit stiffer. Stiffer padding usually indicates a little bit better padding, but the trade-off is when it's stiffer, it doesn't flex as well. You can see it doesn't go down as far in the arm and is really focused more on the shoulders and the chest. 2X catcher, I just showed that off earlier in the video, so you can go back and watch that when we're done live, but used it. It's a great glove, closes extremely well out of the box. All right, guys, running out of time. Any last questions? You can probably field 1 or 2 more if they're quick. Somebody down there asking about goalies. I'm not really going to comment on anybody's performance. It's not really my wheelhouse. I'm more gear focused. Some SLR2 with the red quick slide material. Kind of interesting. I haven't actually seen this pad up close, but this landing surface here seems soft, which is kind of interesting to me from a design standpoint. Upside of soft is that it'll be lightweight and give you body weight cushioning, which is definitely something I'm a huge advocate for. But generally speaking, when this inner edge is firm or hard, it'll slide a lot better. So kind of interesting, but obviously using the quick slide material, just based on my experience with the Primo, I'll trust that slides really, really well. Just by contrast, I'm going to go find a set of the Bauer Pro pads, which will have a very firm inner edge. So here's 2S Pro, and this inner edge, although it is soft, much firmer feel. So again, not to say one's necessarily better than the other. I'd have to use both pads side by side to get that feel. Just kind of an interesting design thing I'd never noticed. Here's 2X, which I do have personal experience with as well. And that inner edge does feel a tad firmer. All right, SLR2 glove, that is by the door, so that is the perfect thing to check out, and hopefully that closes as well as the VE8 one-piece glove, because I was extremely impressed with that. So let's take a look at an SLR2. Here's the Pro Carbon model. This is the 2-piece one, and not quite as good as the VE8, but still better, and just where I don't traditionally do well with this brake. That's why I don't use the Supreme. I've got not the biggest hands in the world, so I don't really have great action closing the thumb towards the fingers versus more fingers oriented works well for me. Fortunately, I won't have time to do any of the non-pro gear today. So thanks everybody for watching. This is the GoalNet signing out.